Hey guys, it's Steve. So today I have another cheap thing from Amazon. This was $10. It's a smart bracelet. Supposedly it has a pedometer, calculates distance, calories, has sleep monitor, tells the time, has call alerts, alarms, anti-lost, remote shot, and sedentary reminder. It has an application that works on both Apple and Android, and I'm going to take a look at it. The box obviously got a little tweaked in shipping. Let's see if it makes a difference for the device itself. So there's not much to it. It's just a single plastic tray that has the device and looks like the charger. This is some kind of proprietary pin charger. So it looks like it just clips on to the back here. Oh, that goes on pretty easy, and it clicks on, and then it's just standard USB on the other side. So let's take the cheap little screen protector off there, and let's see. Let's take a look at the manual. Yeah. So Chinese on the back, of course. Well, I don't know. On one side, English on the other. It's pretty basic instructions. There's another QR code to download the app. The app I'm a little leery on because I've gotten these before and I've tried them on Android, and it has you download the app from just some Chinese site, and then when you go to install it asks you all kinds of permissions. I'm trying it with an iPhone this time, so I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if there's something in the Apple store, but we'll find out. Let's see if this guy has any juice, and it looks like it actually does. So I'm going to get this paired up to my iPhone here. I'm going to download the app here. I loaded a QR reader. So I'm going to scan the code. The box got a little tweaked, so I don't know if it'll be able to read it, but let's see here. Yeah, it's coming up. Alright, it redirected to the store. So I'm going to download the app, and there we go. It's downloaded. Open it up. VeriFit 2.0. So it's asking to send notifications. I'm going to let it do that. Oh, it found it. YDYP102. Connecting. It's connected. Alright. I'm going to put in some of my stuff. It's asking me male or female. Imperial metric. Height. Weight. Yeah. Birth date. Does it go that far back? Yeah, it does. All right. And then it's asking for sports target and sleep target. 10,000 steps. How many hours per day for sleep? Okay. Defaults are 10,000 and 8 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and click done on there. It's setting, whatever that means. And there we go. So it's syncing up right now. I don't know if you can see up at the top there, but it's syncing with the device. Sync is done, and on the iPhone it's actually letting you sync with Apple Health, which I'm kind of surprised by. Usually these cheap apps don't let you do that. And it's just asking to write data. It's not asking to read anything. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to allow that. So there we have it. That was a pretty easy setup. It detected the time zone switched, I guess, from whatever the default time zone was, and it's resetting the watch now. But the app itself doesn't look too bad. I'll go in and do a full review of it.
Hey guys, so I've been using this fitness band for about a week now. So on Amazon, it's called the Lookatool smartwatch band. And in the past week, I've noticed that it's dropped down from $13 to $10. The reason why I'm telling you the specific name of it is there is absolutely no branding on the box whatsoever. You comes and it just says it's a smartwatch band. It doesn't have any branding. So I'll put a link in the description so you can make sure you get the same one I did. Because I gotta tell you, over the past week, I've actually been really impressed with this. So if you don't have one and you were thinking of getting a Fitbit, you might want to try this one out first at $10 instead of spending, over $100 for a Fitbit. One of the complaints I read on Amazon is about the clasp coming apart. That has not happened to me. This clasp is super solid. I think what's happening is people are not putting it on correctly. So if you look at the clasp, it goes into these holes, and if you don't have it push it all the way through and it just kind of rests in there, it's going to pop right out. But if you push this all the way through, there's no way that's going anywhere. That is not coming off. I've been working outside with this. I've been running with it, working out at the gym. It has not come off once. This thing, as long as you put the band on correctly, latch it correctly, it's not coming off. So looking at some of the features of this, if we turn the band on, you can see it shows the time. And one thing I have noticed, I'll show you this right now. If you pull it this way, which you don't really do when it's on, it kind of comes apart, and it's not, the band's not falling apart or anything, but like the Fitbit, the little insert is removable from the band. So that's all that is. That's only happened to me a handful of times. But it has the time, the date, the battery life, the day of the week, Bluetooth connection, and then if you push again, it gives you your steps, calories burned, and how many miles you went. You can also set this to kilometers, depending on where you live. And that's it. If you long hold on the side, it goes into sleep mode. Into cancel sleep mode, you push it again. The nice thing is, though, this automatically detects sleep, so you don't have to manually turn it on. You can do that if you're just taking a nap during the day or something like that. But if you're going to bed at night, just leave this thing on, and it'll automatically detect your sleep. And the cool thing is, I've had this for about a week, and look at how much battery life is still left on that. Because this display uses almost no power, I've charged it once, have worn it almost a week, and it's still like 2/3 of the battery life. So let me show you in the app. You know, there's one thing on the device, but a device these days is only as good as the app. So if we go into here, the app is this VeryFit 2.0. The app is available in the App Store, the official App Store. So you don't have to go to some weird website, download it, and have a chance that it's going to do some funky stuff to your phone. So going into this app, the app itself is actually pretty nice. The initial screen, it shows you your steps, and I haven't synced other than this morning. So to sync, you just pull it down. You can see up at the top it says it's syncing, and it's relatively quick. So what this does is it syncs your steps and your sleep cycle. So now it's synced. This should update. There it is with my 10,000 steps. It shows the miles, the calories. That's the same information that's available on the watch. What's not available on the watch is if you swipe one screen over here, it gives you your sleep. And it shows you how much was deep sleep, how much was light sleep, how much was awake sleep. And then you can go in and look at the details for your steps. And you can see this is just today. We can look at a different day, all these different steps. On the 29th, I had 12,000 steps. And, you know, you can just see for any particular day how many steps you had for that day. And I don't think you can do... Oh, you can. So you can get a little more detail on the sleep as far as how much was deep sleep, how much was awake sleep for whatever day. And you can switch this from today, just like you could on the steps. You can switch to a different day, and it'll show you up at the top how much sleep you got for that day. Looking at some of the settings, we can go into the details here. And this shows you over a week, month, or year, your step count. I haven't found a way to do this for the sleep as well, but for your steps, you can kind of track how much you've gone, and it shows you some averages for the steps and the calories and all this stuff. Device settings, you can set a call alert, where if an incoming call comes in, it vibrates on your wrist. Sedentary reminder, where if you wanted to remind you when you've been sitting too long and not active, it'll send you a little reminder, vibrate your device. The alarm alert will set alarms, but they're alarms that have to be added in the app. They're not alarms. They're not like calendar reminders or anything. This thing is pretty cool. This take photo, if you go into here, and then on your watch shows this little camera icon. And then you can just hit the side button and use it as a remote shutter for your camera app. So I can take a picture of my ugly chair, and there we go. Device upgrade, it'll show you when a new firmware is available. If there's nothing available, you can't do anything there. Wrist sense, that's when you rotate your wrist up, the screen comes alive, so the screen automatically turns on. No, I can't do it without it being on my wrist. But when you rotate your wrist up, the screen automatically comes on. Otherwise, you just have to hit the little side button there. Anti-lost, if you get too far from your phone, your wrist will start vibrating to let you know you left your phone behind. And find a phone, you can use that functionality to find your phone if it's lost. Then the user settings, you can set your goals. I just use the standard 10,000 steps, 8 hours per night for my sleep. You can put your personal info in, go to your system settings, and this is where you can set the units to either imperial or metric. You can restart the device, check your app version, and leave feedback for the developers. So the cool thing about it is this app also will sync to Apple Health and Google Fit. I haven't tried it on an Android phone, but to sync to Apple Health, it's really easy. When you first load the app on, it asks you if you want to connect to Apple Health. You say yes, and then you can come into here and you can tell it which data to sync with Apple Health. So you can sync the step number, calories, and sleep, or any one of those, or none of those if you don't want to. And then what it looks like in the Apple Health app is, if we go back and kind of go to sleep, it automatically adds it into the sleep analysis. And then you can go into the show all data, and it'll show you from the app, when it's synced over to Apple Health from the VeriFit 2.0 to Apple Health. And the same goes for your steps. It'll show you your steps, and then this shows you where it's getting your steps from, so you can go to show all data, and it shows you the various steps that were either collected on the phone or sent over from the app. You can see your sources, so VeriFit is one of those sources for that. So it's actually really good, especially now that it's $10. One thing I did notice is that the step count is high. I wore it for a couple of days with my Garmin Vivo Active. The Vivo Active has a very accurate step count. So I noticed that through the day, the step count was 1,000 to like maybe 1,500, 2,000 steps off. In reality, if you're comparing it to another device, that's a big discrepancy. But in reality, if you're using this to track your progress and to improve yourself, it doesn't really matter if the steps are accurate. It matters a whole lot less if the steps are accurate, so you're getting exactly 10,000 steps, than it is saying, okay, I got 8,000 steps yesterday, I'm going to try for 10,000 today. Because if you're tracking that on the same device and you're increasing, you're still going to be increasing. So the inaccuracy would only change if you're coming from, like a Fitbit or a Garmin device to another device. And that's going to be the same no matter what device you switch to, because all the devices track the steps a little bit differently. So I don't see that as a big problem, especially if you're just getting into fitness bands and you just want to be able to, something to benchmark your progress, go for it. It's $10. It's pretty solid. Battery life is great. The screen is not very readable in sunlight. That's the only real downside, that I had to shield it every time when I wanted to read it in the direct sun. But other than that, I can't really knock it for $10. So hopefully you found this informative. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description if you want to pick one up, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.